model that we use for multiplication is length times width equals area. So we can use this model to keep track of our distribution of terms when we have polynomial expressions. So I'm going to show this as my length. So 7x plus 2y minus 1. And I'm going to show this other term as my width. So I have length times width. And then I can see that as I distribute these terms, the 7x times 2x gives me my 14x squared. This 7x going into the 5 gives me negative 35x. Okay, I can do the same thing with these two terms here. I get 2x times 2y is 4xy. The 2y times the negative 5 gives me the negative 10y. And then I have my distribution here. The negative 1 distributes to the 2x, and it distributes to the negative 5. So negative 5 times negative 5 gives me positive 5. And then I can combine my like terms if I have any. So in this case, my net product, or my area, is going to be 14x squared plus 4xy minus 37x minus 10y plus 5. And that gives me all 6 terms. And I've combined my two like terms that I had here and here. When I multiply this out, I should get a square area. If I square something, I should get a square. Now, remember that we cannot square when there's negatives here. Okay, squares and pluses and minuses do not get along. To square this, I have to rewrite it with multiplication. And since it's multiply, I can distribute. So if I have 3x minus 2, 3x times plus negative 2, then I end up with 9x squared. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So notice that if I just squared them, I would be missing these two parts, okay? Because squares and plus and minuses do not get along. So I end up with negative minus 6x minus 6x. So my distribution, I end up with 9x squared minus 6x plus 4. And so my square shape has an area of 9x squared minus 12x plus 4. And when we square something, we get a square shape. Two squares, if I just squared the 3x and the minus 2, two squares do not make a square. Okay? If I have two square shapes here and here, I can't put them together to make a square. I'm missing some pieces to make a square. And that's the middle term of minus 12x. So here we can, again, distribute this. We have a binomial and binomial. We can show this as, I'm going to write this, well, write my 3xy squared minus 4x. So there's a binomial piece here, 2xy minus 5y. There's a binomial piece here, so we should end up with 4 parts to this. So as I distribute, 6 x's times x's, y's times y's, minus 15 x's times x's, y's times y's. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure I do that here. So 6x squared y cubed. And this is going to be negative 15xy cubed. The 4x times 2xy is negative 8x squared y. Then I end up with positive 20xy. I'm just going to move this over so it's not so crowded in here. You can see a little bit clearer. So those are my terms from the distribution. And this is just make sure I get minus 20 or sorry, positive 20xy. Remember that. We have to make sure that that minus is going to go with that 4x. So there it is. There's my expression. I check to see if there's any like terms. In this case, there are no like terms that I can combine together, so I have to leave it as such.